Welcome to Hedwig's Army. Hosted and produced by Josh Clayton and Trevor Feldner.
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
Welcome back to another episode of Hedwig's Army. I'm Josh.
And I'm Trevor.
And this week we're going to be discussing Chapter 9 of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
The Midnight Duel.
Yes, but before we get into that, we do have a couple of announcements to bring about. The first is this is our first time back since December 10th was our last episode.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been kind of busy with the holidays.
Yeah, and we kind of unanticipated how busy we were going to be during the holiday season.
Because this past year was our first year having to do a holiday season. And podcasts schedule. So we were like,
right,
trying to get gifts for everybody, but then also find time to read. And
and then last week we just kind of screwed it up. But we're back. We are back and better than ever. So stick with us. Thank you for those who have stuck with us. And if you're a new listener, thank you for listening and welcome to the podcast. We are huge Harry Potter fans and all we want to do is share our love with y'all. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed thus far and we'll continue listening into the new year because we have some exciting things coming on this year.
Yes, we do.
But we're not going to spoil that for you now because, gotta make you hold on to something, right? No, but for real though, guys, this is a passion of ours, and even though it's been kind of rocky here and there, this is something that we've talked about all the time. We talk about all the time, and it's a learning process, and I think we've got some stuff down. So, thank you guys again for listening and cooperating with us and not, giving us crap
we very much appreciate it.
Right, but we are back and, like I said, better than ever. So, with that, we have a couple of announcements. The first one, just some updated Harry Potter news you probably have already heard about, but the new RPG Harry Potter game that was leaked. It's not the Hogwarts Mystery. It's not the what was the other one? Wizards Unite. It's none of that. It's a completely different one.
The Wizards Unite. That's the Pokemon Go one. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
so it's a completely different one. It's open world. It's supposed to take place in the 1800s, and you're a student. But the leaked video was copy striked and taken down by Warner Brothers, which.
Wait,
1800s? 1800s, yes. Yes, sir. So it's before all the main characters. We might see a couple.
Heck, that's actually even before
Dumbledore.
Yeah, Crimes of Grindelwald type stuff. So.
Oh, way before that. So it'll be exciting to see it. But like I said, Warner Brothers copy strikes the video, which sucks for us that wanted to see it. But it kind of enhances, the realness of it because it's like I was telling Trevor, why would they copy strike it and have it taken down so quickly? If it wasn't a leaked project that they're working on, so it kind of shows that.
And that's a high profile kind of thing.
Yeah, it kind of gives the impression that it's a real thing coming. So guys, I can't tell you how excited I am for all the Harry Potter things.
Kind of cool though
that may be coming.
Since it's a game, maybe. Because you said it was like an RPG kind of game.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to see some like true gameplay, and they won't copyright it when E3 comes out. I think that's later in the year, right?
Yeah. It's later this year. Maybe we'll see. But also, I haven't looked too much into it, I gotta say, but I'm hoping it's more like an MMORPG where it's like kind of like a World of Warcraft type thing where it's open world. You do quests. There's a storyline, but you could do you don't have to.
Right,
follow
you
it.
can follow your.
It'd be interesting. I'm excited because that's what we've been wanting for in the Potterverse for a long time.
And what'd be nice is if maybe this is where if J.K. Rowling, I'm assuming she has a hand in it, but maybe we'll get to see some new spells introduced. Maybe possibly some more lore. It's like stuff that we've never heard about before.
Oh yeah.
Because like you said, that's like 1800s. That's almost 90. No, right? No, almost 900 years before Crimes of Grindelwald. Am I doing my math right? No.
90 years.
90 years. I thought it was
900 years. All right.
Oh, yeah, 900 years. Now we're talking, like, times of Merlin and
oh, my
the
God.
founders.
I don't think Merlin... No, I don't think it goes that. 900 years. I don't think it goes that long.
Oh, God.
Anyways, so we're excited for that, obviously. And hopefully, I mean, we're hoping that Wizards Unite comes out this year. I think they did say rolled it to 2019. I think we got to be seeing it this year. And I can't tell you because... boy, Pokemon Go took off. Like I once Pokemon Go became big, I was like, they got to do a Potter version, and they are. So,
well, and I feel like
I just hope it's not a bust, kind of like Wizard or kind of like Hogwarts Mystery was. I mean, it's okay, but you know,
see, I feel
more
like
pay to play than it is anything.
Yeah, I feel honestly that it's going to be probably like Pokemon Go, where we're going to see tons and tons of people playing it that first 2-3 months, and then it might drop off a little bit. But it'll be like Pokemon Go now, where like most of the players that are still playing, you know, are the true fans,
right?
You know, because especially with Harry Potter, you know, the people that you want to be playing against, you know, dueling and learning new things, like are people who have read the books, who understand it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So it'll be
definitely be cool.
Yeah, it'll be definitely fun to run around with some Potterheads throwing spells and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just see him in the screen.
Right, yeah. So,
stupefied.
Kind of, yeah. So other than that, we do have another announcement to make, but I'm going to change up on Trevor a bit here. I'm going to throw a little segue into the middle of it with another update that I actually have thought of. So the Wizarding World of Orlando has a new ride coming. If y'all have heard or not heard, or if you've been there or not, the Dragon Ride, I think it was, the Escape from Gringotts, I think, if I'm thinking of the right one, is being removed. It's one of the Dragon ones. I don't know how many there are, but it's being removed, and it's making way to what is looking to be a Forbidden Forest ride that should be finishing up this year, coming out this year, from what I've heard. So... honestly, that'd be really cool. Yeah, get maybe some Aragog and some
because like
all
there's
the creatures.
A lot of things that, it's a forbidden forest.
There's a lot of things we don't know about the Forbidden Forest that it could possibly answer.
Like, what if you see Thestral?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't know if you would see the Thestral, but it'd be kind of cool. You know, like little invisible creature things walking around.
Thing,
Not that they could do
how
that.
many creatures would we see that we've never seen before? You know what I mean? That'd be super cool.
Like, we know that there's centaurs. That'd be really cool. You know, maybe it'll be like Disneyland, you know, with the princesses.
Right.
See, like, centaurs walking up. That'd
we'll
really cool,
have to see. But the reason that segues is we're hoping that ride is finished by the end of May, because that's when me, Trevor, my wife, and his wife will all be going to Disney World.
Heck yeah.
Yes, our first ever Disney World trip. We have scheduled. We have gotten the time off work. We have agreed upon everything. The only thing we have not done yet is order the tickets, which we will be doing shortly. So that's super exciting. I've always wanted to go to the Wizarding World of Orlando.
It's going to be a long trip down
Universal.
there, but...
oh my God. And we're driving, so it's going to be an 18-hour drive, but...
we're going to have to split it up a little bit.
It'll be totally worth it. It's literally a dream of mine. The only thing that could be better than that is going to the actual, like... castle in
oh my God,
Scotland, and going to London and all that stuff.
Oh wow, that
would be don't get me wrong though, if I never go there, I will have lived a full life having gone to Orlando and seen the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I'm so excited.
Actually visit the castle where they filmed would be
right. But either way, like, I'm so excited. This is a dream come true. Literally, I've always wanted to go there. I mean, Harry Potter is my life, so.
And I never thought, that I would be traveling, that far, like cross country,
right?
Because I've never left the state, so for us to have to, travel, like, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a little scary for me, especially me, and because I've never traveled, Josh over here, he's traveled.
I've gone to Tennessee and Missouri and stuff, which we're
And
located in Illinois,
even my
so
wife,
it's not a
she's
huge
been up to New York,
distance,
but like,
yeah.
I'm like the lone person of our group that's been like,
Well, not after this year, brother.
I get to finally say like, hey, not only did I travel, but I got to go to Universal.
Right, and Disney World. We're doing 2 days in Universal, 2 days in Disney World. And don't worry, there will not only be plenty of pictures, and there will be videos we'll be posting. And I do plan on doing at least 1 or 2 live streams while we're up there. I'll give you the information about that towards the end of the video. But I do have a live streaming account on Twitch that I plan on doing at least one or 2 live streams from while we're down there. So if you want more information on that, stay tuned to the end of the episode, and I'm going to be going over all that. But without further ado, I think it's time to get into the chapter. Unless you got any other news or updates you'd like to go over.
You know what?
Happy New Year to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Merry late belated Christmas. Happy New Year. And we
Hanukkah,
hope that
whatever you were
2019 is full of fun, happiness, and Hedwig's Army. So,
darn right?
yeah,
Darn right.
So, anyways, without further ado, let's do it. So, we're changing things up a little bit. Not too much. We're just trying to make it a smoother transition into different things. So what we're going to be doing, just so you guys know, that I have a small summary synopsis I'm going to read through, and then Trevor has a longer in-depth summary that we're going to go through and kind of pick apart. So I have some notes, he has some notes. So it's a little different than the way we've done previous episodes, but we're trying to get a firm, what do you call it? A firm
style.
Yeah, firm style, firm thing. So,
but it's going to take us some time. We're still adjusting.
Right.
Like we were saying earlier, this is us coming back into it.
Yeah. Like we're coming in 2019 and we're staying,
we're coming in
consistent,
strong.
And we're not gonna change it up like we've been doing. We want to find a style that suits us, the listeners, and just the easier flow of the podcast. So we're hoping that this is what it is, and I think it will be. So let us know. Let us know what you guys think. Again, we'll plug everything at the end of the episode, but we're on Twitter and email, and we have a website, and literally anywhere that any social media you have, you can find us. So,
let's go over the Midnight Duel.
So, in the Midnight Duel, in this chapter, the trio find out they will be taking flying lessons with the Slytherins. Neville gets a Remembrall from his gran. At their flying lessons, Harry is one of the first people successful at getting his broom to listen to him. Neville goofs up again and ends up accidentally flying up high, falling and breaking his wrist. Madam Hooch takes Neville to the hospital wing, and Malfoy takes no time grabbing the fallen Remembrall. Harry chases Malfoy on a broomstick to retrieve the Remembrall. Malfoy throws the Remembrall into the air, and Harry makes a fantastic dive catch to get it. McGonagall sees this and takes Harry to Oliver Wood and makes Harry the secret of the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Malfoy challenges Harry to a wizard's duel after hours. Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville sneak into the trophy room after hours, only to find out they have been set up by Malfoy. The 4 of them run from Filch and Mrs. Norris and find themselves in a locked corridor, the Forbidden One. They meet a giant 3-headed dog that tries to eat them. They finally make their way back to the Gryffindor common room, and Hermione mentions that the dog was standing on a trap door.
Well, so something, a little bit of news before that we started our summary. We find out Harry's not exact. I mean, we kind of already knew this, but that Harry is not a fan of Draco.
Right. We're jumping into the other summary. Sorry, I was a little confused.
Sorry,
like, wait, what did I do wrong?
No, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
we're gonna.
So yeah, Draco and Harry, not best of friends. I think the specific words were that he liked him just about as much as he liked Dudley. And we all know how much he liked Dudley. And then
he said he never believed he would meet a boy he hated more than Dudley.
Oh, so this is
he hates
even
him
worse.
More than Dudley, and Dudley's a
That's impressive.
Meanie head.
And like in a bad way. That's impressive.
Right. Yeah.
You've earned the wrath of Harry Potter.
Oh yeah. Already, bro. Book 1.
And then we also come to find out that Harry tries to do everything he can to avoid having to deal with Draco.
Yeah, I think it's all the Slytherins. He tries to avoid all of the Slytherins.
I think actually all the Gryffindors are like, yeah, no, we really don't like you.
Right, yeah, no.
Which...
Yeah, and they only had...
blame them?
Right, and yeah. And up until this point, they only had potions with the Slytherins. So...
But then we come to find out flying lessons. Like, oh, yeah, great. Yeah. Cool. We're like the worst of enemies in Quidditch, and we're going to learn together.
And Harry's not exactly happy because, well...
I mean, would you be happy?
He doesn't know how to fly, and he does not want to look like a fool in front of Draco Malfoy.
Honestly, I think that's a problem. But, like, if I'm, Oliver Wood, my instant thought is, okay, well, now the possible younglings that will be joining my team and taking over for people who are finished with school, like, they're basically getting trained with the enemy. So the enemy's going to know their moves, They're going to know the style, the way they move on a broomstick. So they're going to be able to anticipate it.
Right.
So I don't,
right.
I don't know. I mean, you kind of... I'm pretty sure they do it just because it's only one woman teaching, a class of possibly 20, 30 students.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, you have to pair them up. I mean, that's why I take potions with the Slytherins. There's only one potions teacher. There's only one teacher. Actually, Hogwarts, I think, is the only school ever has one teacher for, only one teacher for each subject. Yeah, no, I was just about to bring that up because I've heard a couple people on YouTube, some YouTube channels talking about that, where it's like, yeah, you never hear when you hear a head of the department, well, okay, well, where are the other teachers that you're head of? Because, if you're the head of the department, right, and there's nobody to lead, then what's the point? It's like having a manager manage nothing. Right. And if you think about it, too, I mean, this might make sense. I haven't really looked into it. It might make sense of breaks. But we only hear about so many classes, maybe 10. I mean, I can't even think of all of them, but there's not many more than 10 classes that we hear about, probably. Yeah. Okay, so we got 7 years, different years, and 4 houses per year. So you got 28 different sets of students for 10, 11, 12 teachers. So, I mean, yes, it makes sense you have to double up, but 2-3 hours at a time, when they do double potions. Right, it makes sense if they double up, but at the same time, shouldn't every teacher have at least 2? You know what we should start doing is just writing down when they're taking their classes and figuring out what's an actual week at Hogwarts kind of look like. Yeah. Double potions. Okay. Yeah, I guess we should do that. Potions is an hour long. I like that. Because maybe that'll give us a better idea on, okay, you have 11 teachers, Josh was saying, 11 teachers that we learn about, right? Well, how is 11 teachers supposed to teach possibly a student body of upwards of probably 200 to 300 kids? Right, exactly. I'm not gonna lie, that's impressive. I mean, I know they have breaks. They might have breaks in the day. I think when they're in 6th year, they have 4 classes all week or something. Yeah, well, because they're studying, right? Yeah. But even still, I don't know. It seems like a lot of kids for a little. I mean, I'm sure there's teachers. I know there's teachers we haven't heard of, whatever the one in book 7 that gets killed, something Burbage. Oh god. So I know there's ones we haven't heard about. So I'm probably being dramatic, but it's just. I mean, there's probably more teachers because it wouldn't, like we said, wouldn't make sense to have a head, a head teacher. Yeah, and she's the only teacher of the department. Oh yeah. Well, headmaster of Transfiguration. Well, the headmaster, not really. It's the headmaster, the head of the Gryffindor house, head of Hufflepuff. Right. That's not head of herbology. Anyways, because I think there's only one teacher per lesson, but there's probably more lessons than we know of. We only know the ones that these fools take. Fools, sorry. The trio take. Well, considering what they pulled in potions, a couple last chapter.
I mean,
What do you mean?
like turning people's stuff green and whatnot. Granted, it's not their fault because it's their first year, but like
Which, hold on.
messing up potions and stuff.
I just had a thought. If weren't they in potions with Slytherins last chapter?
Yeah.
So why they're just now finding out that they have potions with the Slytherins? It's weird.
No, they're not just finding out. They're
No, it literally says. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. My bad.
Yeah.
They're finding out they have flying lessons.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, actually. No. Anyways, let's move on a little bit. Because I'm probably being way too dramatic and overthinking the teacher thing.
Well, talking about the flying lessons, it seems to be a pretty big deal. You got Hermione being the book smart lady that she is. She's like, hey, I saw these theories and stuff.
Even she's worried because she knows books aren't going to help her with flying at the hands-on.
Right, well,
but she's trying.
Don't get me wrong. I love Hermione as a character. But the whole, like, I'm going to read and read and read. But, like, if you don't put it into practice, like...
I don't know.
Not all the stuff she reads, she puts into practice.
I know. But she's saved Harry once or twice.
No,
four or 5 or 8 or 9 or 100 times.
Okay. All right.
Just by reading, knowing stuff. I'm just saying.
All right.
But there's like you said, there's certain things you have to practice. It's not going to help her. She can read the theory of flying and know how it works all she wants, but until she practices, she ain't going to be able to do it.
Right. They even say that, like, you have to summon your broomstick to your hand.
Which,
like, what does it teach? The broomstick, like, the book's going to be like, oh, yeah, focus on this. Okay, well, if I focus on this and it still doesn't work, then, okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little weird. I kind of want to dig a little deeper about how brooms work.
I feel like they're kind of like...
they're wandless magic. You don't use your wand, and you're obviously performing some sort of magic. Or is it more of like... Or are the, like, brooms, like, living...
Oh, kind of like you had on your notes where, like, the... Tell me about broomsticks.
Yeah, it was not that, though.
Oh, okay.
But it's like... It's like, are the broomsticks, like, living, and, like, you have to, like, kind of get them to trust you? And like build a relationship with them. Kind of like with the wand. Like the wand, if you choose the right wand and you treat it right, you know what I mean?
Well, but then when they...
Because it's either that or it's wandless magic, because you don't use a wand to get your broom to go. It's more of like a thing you ride on it and it like obeys you.
Maybe that's why when they first start out, everybody you see the vast difference between people who are like really good at flying and people who aren't. Maybe like the people who are better at it are more or less. I mean, it's actually not technically non-verbal magic.
Wandless.
Or wand. It is wandless, but it's not non-vocal. So like they're like giving it a command,
but it's still wandless. I mean,
so maybe it's like their introduction.
First year, but first years aren't. I mean. You don't even learn wandless magic at Hogwarts, other than if you consider that wandless magic. So it's like there's got to be more to it. It's got to be think of it this way: think of a broomstick as a creature. If it's a creature, which I know sounds dramatic, it's just a broomstick. But if it's a creature,
it's not
you got to get it to trust you and obey you. I'm gonna pull a little bit of Hogwarts Mystery. If you guys haven't played it, it's okay because it'll make sense when I explain it.
A little bit.
You have to. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, we didn't do spoiler alert. Oh, well. We'll do. We
haven't spoiled too much.
We'll edit it in, too. But, so, with wandless magic, with a Hogwarts Mystery, you have to, like, go to the creatures and you have to bond with them and feed them in order to get them to, like, trust you and, like, kind of warm up to you. So if you think of it that way... With brooms, like you gotta be confident and stuff like that, and then they'll like obey you and trust you. And they're like a creature, you gotta get to because again, it's even if it's wandless magic, why would Harry be good at it, and why couldn't Hermione learn it in a book if it was wandless magic? It's more than that. It's more like a personality thing than it is a spell thing. So I really want to.
And broomsticks are both made out of wand, so maybe whatever process they.
Wood.
What did I say?
Wand.
Oh god.
Sorry, yeah.
Well, yeah, they're
yeah.
both made out of wands, and
Right.
brooms are made out of
right.
out of wood.
And
maybe they imbue it with similar characteristics.
And think of it this way too. With wands, if you're using somebody else's wand, it's not going to work as well for you. But it can work, as we've seen with Ron or with Harry when he had, Malfoy's wand, and when he, and Neville. It wasn't the best, but it worked. So maybe, because they're not using their own broomsticks that they own, that was, they bought, maybe they're not as, they don't work as well for them. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Like wands wouldn't. If you walked into a classroom and they had wands sitting on the table, you're going to use these wands today, they wouldn't work as well as your wand,
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's what I said. I definitely want to look deeper into that because I think there's a lot there. So let's move on a little bit here.
You talked about the Remember All.
Yeah, so actually I want to say something too. Going on a little bit of a tangent. I have a note here. Speaking of flying, and this, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead here.
No.
So Malfoy, another reason Harry's worried is because Malfoy, even Ron, have been talking about how they've been flying their whole life.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they've practiced it and stuff like that. And Harry's like, I just learned you can ride on brooms today. So, on the train here from Ron. So he's like, I'm going to be terrible at it, and Malfoy's going to laugh at me. So, but it got me thinking, it's like, okay, now you can't use magic when you're growing up. You know what I mean? If Ron can't use magic, we know that. He's they let certain Muggle-born things get away with it because they don't know what they're doing. Obviously, when you're an infant, you accidentally do magic. That's one thing. But when you're growing up, you know better than to use magic outside of school. Even when you leave school after the first year, they tell you not to use magic outside of school. Yet numerous times we've seen Harry and Ron playing Quidditch. Malfoy obviously talks about, and Ron talks about flying before they even went to Hogwarts and stuff. Mm-hmm. So why is flying okay, but using magic not? Isn't flying a form of magic? You obviously have to fly. It's obviously magic.
So I thought you were
if you're flying on a broomstick and you get seen by Muggles, you're gonna screw things up.
Actually, I think in the lore behind the Snitch, we find out about the Snidget and the people were getting caught by, exposing Quidditch to Muggles.
Okay.
So I don't know how much detail, because I don't remember specifically.
I actually don't know what you're talking about. No, I haven't looked too much into that. So.
Well, that's when they started bounding the fields.
Right. Well, yeah, I understand that. I don't know.
I think part
exactly.
of that was because they would go everywhere just to get that snitch.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, I got you. That's why they put the charm on the snitch to make it not leave the boundaries.
Right. So that they could be like, hey.
That's why they made a snitch instead of a snidget, I think.
Right. Yeah. So that they could bound it and be like, you're not going past this limit, so that we don't have to worry about certain things like that.
Right. Right.
And a lot of places we've seen them do these things at have either been Quidditch fields or at magical houses, which probably have certain charms about them.
Right.
I feel like when you get to an adulthood, they're like, we expect you to do this.
Right.
Keep an eye on your kids.
Right.
If you're going to practice Quidditch.
But here's the thing, though. We see it again, and I don't remember exactly which book it is, but Fred and George use magic before they're technically of legal age, and they're being okay, in the fifth book we see them using magic and apparating and stuff and using magic to cut things and things like that because they're allowed to now. They're of age. Right. And they're kind of taking advantage of it because they couldn't before. So you can't, even if you're in your house, magical house, wizarding house, you can't use magic. Ron can't use magic, Harry can't use magic when he's at the Burrow and stuff. So regardless of where you are, if you're not at Hogwarts, you can't use magic until you're overage. But you can fly.
See what I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been hearing about other schools, and specifically Africa, a lot of other countries, other schools, they don't have wands, because wands is more European thing. Like they started using them now. Like other Africa is well known for using wandless, right. So they can't be traced. So maybe that's partly why they can't tell if you're flying or not. Because
I mean, you can still be traced. It's not the wand; it's the magic.
Well, no, I thought it was the wand itself has tracking in it.
No, think about Dobby.
You your age.
Think about Dobby. When Dobby did the hovering charm, he didn't use a wand, and he's also not underage.
But that was also at a house that they knew an underage wizard was at.
Yeah, but they could still trace it, though, even though it wasn't using a wand. They could still track it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So even if you're underage and you don't use a wand, they can still track it. But yeah, and either way, we're in Britain, and it's every country has different laws. But I'm saying the Ministry of Magic prohibits flying underage, but not using magic. But like, if a Muggle, is it because of this though? If a Muggle gets a wand, he can't do magic. If a Muggle hops on a magic like a flying broom, can he fly on it? Is that the difference? Is you're not doing magic because you're using a magical?
I would love to find out about that, like. Because it seems like all you really need to use a broom is to kind of command it. Yeah. Just give it a command and it'll just...
What I'm saying is the magic being used from the wizard or is the magic in the broom? Because we know magical objects that have magic in them can be like
port keys, I think.
Yeah, right? Well, they can be done in front of Muggles. Like Arthur's whole job after he gets the promotion is, I think, after he gets promotion, right? Yeah, is like going around and kind of fixing, like when I'm trying to think of the example, like the shrinking key. The key was some wizard put a spell on a Muggle key that made it shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink, so that the Muggle thought he was just losing it because again, when Muggles see magic, they don't believe it. They think something else. They think a logical explanation.
Well, magic like that, but like if it's super obvious, like, hey, I point the little wooden thing.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, that's what I'm saying is we know that items that have magic, like were like, what do you call them? Like magical items, like items that have been touched by magic. The magic can still work around Muggles, with Muggles, on Muggles, things like that. And you see it with like the books. Remember when they were doing the books? There's a part in the book. Fuck, this is getting confusing. The part in the Harry Potter books about magically enchanted books that would, I think, make you... God, what was it? Made you do something. Like, made you... like
puke or something, probably.
No, made you, like, screw up your brain, I think. Like...
Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember.
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember exactly what it was. But, like, a Muggle would open it and it would work on them. So we know if the item is enchanted with magic, it'll still work with Muggles. So is that...
also
apply to a broom. And is that why they can fly? Because they're not doing magic, they're using a magic item. Also, the car. They didn't get in trouble with the Ministry of Magic about the flying car. But is that because they didn't do magic? Instead, they used a magical item that already had magic in it.
That's a good point.
So that's what I'm curious about. Again, things I want to look into. There's a million things I want to look into. But like, that's an interesting question. Guys, if you have any theories or ideas or opinions on that, let us know.
Yeah, we would definitely.
Yeah, because
we would love to get some feedback on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just why can they fly underage, but they can't use magic underage? What's the reasoning for that?
Speaking of magical items, the Remember All is really interesting. You know, it turns red when you've forgotten something, but like doesn't actually tell you what you forgot, which. I don't know how I feel. Like, seems weird. Like, okay, just tell me what I got wrong, because I'm not going to remember. I obviously don't remember. So unless I know specifically what question I'm asking, like, maybe you can ask it, like, where is this? And it'll tell you if you remembered or not. And obviously Neville, it immediately turns red.
Yeah, of course, because Neville.
I guarantee you the thing that he forgot, though, was probably the password to get into the dorm.
Maybe. I think I've heard theories, and this is a movieism, and it all has to do with the movie. In the movie, he's not wearing his wizard robes, he's just wearing, like, his shirt. So he forgot his robes.
Oh, gotcha, okay. And, of course, at practice, they meet Madam Hooch, really nice person. Like in the movies, she seems like she's very strict. She's kind of like McGonagall, but if like McGonagall taught flying, you know, she's strict on everybody, not just because she doesn't really have a house that she belongs to. I don't think.
Right.
So she's strict on everybody. Like,
yes,
you will listen to me,
or
I will throw you out.
Like,
she even tells them like, if I catch you flying, I think this was a movie thing.
And she's basically McGonagall, like as a Quidditch teacher,
as a flying instructor.
As a flying instructor.
So she shows them how to summon their brooms to their hands, of only which like a couple people, like Harry, get the hang of, like on the first couple tries. I think Harry actually gets it on his first try.
Yes, he does. He's the only
impressive.
I think Malfoy. No. Is that a movieism? I don't remember if that's a movieism. Malfoy also gets it in the movie. I can't remember if that's in the book.
I think that's just in the movie. And then, of course, she starts showing him, like, okay, mount your broom like this. Well, Neville, like you said, decides he wants to get on there.
Right.
Does not go well for him. At all. Breaks his arm, so that makes me wonder, like, how high was he? Was he only, like, 2 stories up? Which, granted, is still going to do a considerable amount of damage.
Yeah, okay. That's a movieism. It does not say that in the book. That Malfoy got it right away. But it does say something about Malfoy. And that he's been doing it wrong for years. Which is hilarious. So it does mention in the book that Malfoy's been doing it wrong for years, which is hilarious.
Well, it's Malfoy, so...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean much. He's been doing it the wrong way, like, technically for years, but...
Oh, I do have actually a note on them learning Quidditch and stuff. Is it like football, like Muggle version of football?
I mean...
How everybody talks about, like, it's the big
Well, yeah,
sport.
that's the only sport. So, it's the only wizarding sport. So, yeah. I mean, I would say...
Wizards.
Yeah, I've heard it compared to sports, but I think it's hard to compare it because it's the only sport. So, it's either, do you like the sport or do you not? It's not like, oh, do you like sports? Yeah, well, which one? That's how it is for us. Like, for them, it's like, do you like Quidditch? Yes or no? It's just, do you like sports? Yes or no? Do you like sport? Yes or no? Because it's why. I mean, obviously, if you're Muggle born, it's a little different because you know other sports probably. But like in the wizarding world, there's only one sport, and it's Quidditch. So either you like the sport or you don't like any sports.
Right.
Magical sports.
Yeah. So Neville, hurts himself, gets taken to the infirmary.
What?
Which is the infirmary.
Hospital wing?
They call it the infirmary.
Do they?
Yeah.
Isn't the infirmary like something where you got cremated at?
No.
What?
No. The infirmary, like, kind of like barracks.
Okay.
It's like an army-ish term, I think.
Okay.
Which makes sense considering it's a castle. And that's kind of what castles was like basically a fortified military base with a bunch of other people living in it. But I think that's actually our first mention of the hospital in Hogwarts. We don't actually get to see it in this.
And
I don't think we get to see that until... I don't think you get to see it until book 2. But
briefly at the end of the first movie because Harry's laying in bed.
Right. So you like.
Oh wait. Also, isn't he? No, that's the second movie where he breaks his arm.
So like you get to see it you start seeing it more often as he gets older because he endangers himself.
Little things like that, man.
That's Harry for you.
Yeah.
Of course, Malfoy, being the jerk that he is, takes the Remembrall, and he seems like he's doing pretty good from what they described in the book. And he's not great, but...
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? When Malfoy's flying around.
Well, yeah, he's good at it. He's seasoned.
Right, like he knows what he's doing. He's not like, I'm gonna be, greatest Quidditch player ever, but he's decent.
It says he had been lying. He could fly well, so he was a good flyer.
Yeah, but he's not like, oh my god, I mean, he does eventually become, spoiler.
I mean, I think...
the Seeker.
Right. He doesn't really say how he is. He just says he could fly well. It's all we have, so we have to just go on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. Of course, he's taunting Harry. This is where we get to see that, like, that rivalry start.
Right. It's when Harry takes his first action, he's like, not today, Satan.
Although, to be honest, I think this is where we get to actually see Draco kind of respond in kind to Harry, because Harry has been like
kind.
Well, no, like as in not kind like that, as in like he's responding the same way Harry is to him, like I hate you. It's his way of finally showing like the first glimpses we get of Draco showing just how much he hates Harry for.
Well, yeah, because Harry stands up to the bully, so the bully has to respond back. You know what I mean?
Right, but like we get immediately Harry's impression of him is like, yeah, I don't really want to do anything with you, whereas it seemed like Draco was like trying to get him on his side, right? Well,
yeah, he's trying to recruit him because.
And now Draco's like, okay, you don't want to be on my team? Fine, don't be on my team, but I'm gonna make your life a living hell.
I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I think it happens before this. But this is the first definite, like, interaction. Like, the first back and forth between them.
Right.
First big, like...
glimpse at the relationship that will become.
Right. See, I don't know. I mean, it's hard because it would be more like that if it was Harry's Remember All, you know what I mean? I mean, Harry sees it as, like, basically as good as his because he's...
Right, he's friends with him. He's in the same house.
But yeah, I mean, he's not taking a direct stab at Harry as he is like he's trying to mess with Neville, and then Harry he's not like taunting Harry until Harry stands up to him.
Right, and he's like, "Oh, you want to stand up to me?"
Yeah, you stand up to the bully, and then he pushes back. You know what I mean? But like he backs down because Harry's like, "I'll knock you off your broom," and instead of like actually like challenging Harry, he just throws Remember All, knowing that Harry's not going to let it smash on the ground.
Right. Which is some impressive flying.
Right.
You know, it like you said, it clearly states like Harry's got skills.
Right. I mean, Harry freaking Potter, you know. Yeah. I mean, there's a little. I mean, again, you know, I love Harry Potter. I pick at it because I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I pick at it because I love it so much. But there's things that bug me about the first book. Like, I wish they kind of made Harry not like the best flyer and let him overcome it, like learn it. Then
like zero to hero kind of thing.
Yeah, instead of him just like magically so great at it, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, like overcome it a little bit, you know. I wish they would have done that, but I mean, I'm okay with the way it is. I just wish, I feel like they could have done a little bit more with it. I feel like a lot of the book, Harry gets things handed into his lap as opposed to overcoming challenges. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't overcome anything. I'm just saying a lot of the answers fall into his lap or come from Hermione and Ron, and this is one of them. Like. What better way to kick off Harry's heroism than to just make him the hero by making him an excellent flyer right off the bat instead of having him overcome it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of having to go from zero to hero, he's just hero to hero, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
Not only does he stand up to Malfoy, but he's also able to back it up right away, which, again, it's fine, but, like, you know...
It would have been nice to see him, like, struggle into his
People love to root for the underdog. Is the thing. So if he's terrible at it, they're like, oh yeah, you'll get better. And he gets better. Like, yeah, he did it. He overcame his you know, whatever.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's just, again, I love it so much. I think it's fine. It's just my only, like, if I had to pick it, picking it apart.
And then we get to see McGonagall, of course. She comes in. She's like, oh yeah, you know what?
Actually, I'm good now. Here, go ahead.
She's like, you know what, Harry? I need you to come with me. And Harry's freaking out. He's like, oh god. I'm gonna get expelled from a school that I literally just like. I think this is like in the first month maybe that they're there, and he's already about to get expelled.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. If I was in his position, I would totally be freaking out. Like, you have one of the strictest teachers, and she's calling you. And like in the movie, we get to see her like shout his name. She's like, Powder. Like, yeah.
Right.
I'm legit.
Harry Potter?
My legit thoughts in that moment are like, well, I just screwed up this whole new thing I learned. Do I get to still learn it afterwards?
Right, like, nice job, Harry. If you weren't Harry Potter, you'd be expelled right now. I hope you're happy. Like, dude, just it's your first week. Like, calm down, bro. You don't gotta be the hero. Yeah. You have plenty of your destiny's set. You're good. But I have actually two notes that go with this. Going back to the flying for a second. So, I had a question here that I questioned myself. So, Harry's obviously a skilled flyer from the very beginning. Now, is that natural born talent from his parents? Or is it part of the Horcrux in him? Because we know he's skilled. He has special powers because of the Horcrux. He can talk to snakes. He is a little more powerful than your average person because of the piece of Voldemort inside of him.
Right, but did we ever actually get any inclination as to whether Voldemort was actually good at Quidditch?
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, Quidditch is one thing. I'm talking about flying. Quidditch is probably just because he's a good flyer. I mean, if you're a good flyer, you can be decent at Quidditch. 90% of flying is Quidditch. Or Quidditch is flying, especially for a Seeker. But, now here's my thing. Voldemort, we know, is an established wizard, is an exceptional wizard, and we know he's exceptional flying because he's one of 2 people we know that can do flight, magicless flight. Or flight, what is it?
Unassisted.
Unassisted flight.
Right, but see, that's, I think, where I'm going to say that it's probably the first one you mentioned, that it's like natural talent. Because his dad, we know it's established, played Quidditch.
Yes. Now, hold on.
So that,
yes.
and we don't know if like the rest of his family did, but it's assumed that, like you said, Quidditch is like the main sport.
Charlie was one of the best. We know George and Fred do.
Right, but I'm saying about Harry Potter.
Oh, sorry. I don't.
Not Ron.
So, why am I?
Yeah, I
don't know what I'm thinking of. Sorry. I'm thinking of Ron, so I just assumed you were thinking of Ron.
No, I'm talking about like Harry. We know it's established that at least his dad was good.
Right.
Probably can infer that like at least several generations are probably decent at it.
Right.
Voldemort, like the flightless part though, like that's the key thing.
Unattended part, you mean?
Like, right, he's not using magic or he's using magic to fly without the broomstick.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying because of that, and because we know he's a great wizard, I'm just making the assumption he's probably a good flyer. He's a good flower. No, he's a good flyer. My thought. And I could be completely wrong. I'm just assuming because of those types of things. He excelled at everything.
Like, don't get me wrong. He's probably good at flying on a broomstick, but like...
But in either way, regardless, even if he's not like super great at it, like he still had the experience and skill by the time he like becomes part of Harry. So he's still got, like as I'm saying, is Harry going in there with a complete noob to flying, or is there a piece of him inside of him, the Voldemort piece, that gives him a little bit of extra? Again, Harry's not Harry's a good wizard, but like Harry's not great at spells and stuff, like Hermione. But for somebody that's never done them, he always is pretty like he's almost like he's got something, and it's because he's got the Horcrux Voldemort, the Horcrux inside of him, that kind of gives him a little bit extra push. So it's like, is it part of that? Now, you gotta look around though. Ron, I mean, they say Ron's a good, okay flyer, but, I mean, again, this is assumptions because you don't get too much about it, but he's probably not, doesn't start off as good as Harry does, because obviously, like, Harry becomes the first year.
Right.
So, but we know that 3 of his 4 brothers are great on the Quidditch team. Charlie was the best Seeker before Harry ever. So we know they all got the talent in them. But
and we eventually
Ron, you know what I mean?
That like Ron
eventually does, but he only makes it because he's friends with Harry. Overall. Yeah. And she thinks that Harry can kind of make him better. But I'm sorry, that's what my point is. Like, do you think that, even if it's not all of it, he might be mixed with natural born talent, but do you think that the Horcrux of Voldemort plays a part of his flying skill?
Honestly, I'm going to have to say no. I think it's more so that, like, somewhat natural talent. If anything to do with the Horcrux, maybe more the fact that, like, Harry seems to act on instinct.
That's my point, though. That's my point. I even said right here, did he know somehow what to do? Now, I'm not saying Voldemort's magic made him a good flyer, but Voldemort's experience made it instinctual for Harry to be able to fly.
See, I still don't. I don't know. It's a good thing, like a good thing to bring up.
Okay, time out. Let me put it this way: do you think Harry, everything about flying remains the same if he doesn't have a Horcrux in him?
Yes.
Okay. That answers us. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he'd be a good flyer, but I don't think he would get the broom right away. I don't think he would have made a Gryffindor team. I think because Voldemort is inside of him, his instincts, like when he's speaking Parseltongue and doesn't know it, it's because it's instinctual. and that's because of the piece of Voldemort inside of him.
I mean,
So I think it's just it enhances his instincts. Because again, when he does things instinctual, by instinct he does them right. When he thinks them through and tries to do them himself, he screws up.
Yeah.
And is that because Voldemort's kind of guiding him, that Horcrux, a little bit?
Maybe.
And he had to get instincts. So anyways, that's just that. The other thing I want to bring up real fast, this is just a short one, is do you think if any other Gryffindor did the exact same thing that Harry did,
Oh, they would have been expelled.
yeah,
If
would
that's
they
the
have made the
question,
team
they
or
would-
be expelled?
They
It's
most
because he's Harry
likely-
Potter. McGonagall knows she can't expel Harry Potter. She knows he's important. So I don't think she.
I mean, don't
she
get me wrong.
obviously doesn't know the.
If the
all
first
of it,
year
but-
showed that much skill, though, I think they'd get a little bit of leniency. But more often than not, like I feel like
Yeah, I don't. I think they'd be going
That's
at
borderline.
least get in some trouble. He didn't even get in trouble,
they'd probably come with some trouble.
but
Like,
I
he got
think it's-
basically scot free. I feel like if they didn't
Right.
get expelled, because if they flew as well as he seemed to fly with McGonagall, watching him, I feel like she'd have been like, maybe not like try to go right to the team, but try to cultivate that person's talent. Whereas like she was like, oh, it's Harry Potter, it'd be great for
Right.
morale and all this other
Right.
stuff. So I think maybe that's what she was partially thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
you
probably
know,
the
and
reason
it
they
also
didn't get-
goes, also if you look at it, like, Madam Hooch is the one that said to be expelled, not McGonagall, so it's kind of like, what authority does she really have? Would McGonagall really expel somebody for that, or is Madam Hooch being dramatic? But if you take it at face value, you will be expelled if you do it. I think any other Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, anybody else would be expelled no matter how much talent they showed. But McGonagall knows... She doesn't know the extent of Harry Potter's worth, but she knows Harry Potter is important to Dumbledore, and that he plays an important role. So they can't get rid of him. They need him. They need him to be around.
Yeah, right.
Which is why he gets away with literally everything. But I'm just saying.
Which
So
is
yeah. So you
sometimes
say if it's anybody else, they're expelled, or at least in trouble. At least
in trouble.
At least detention every day
possibly
for a year.
expelled. More than likely expelled.
But if you're Harry Potter, you get away with everything. Okay,
which is a little messed up.
got it. Okay.
So instead of getting punished, like we were talking about, McGonagall brings him to Oliver Wood. Wood's like, "What? This is the feats that Harry Potter has? Oh, great! Yeah. We'll see how we can do it. I'll see what I can do with them. So it's like, cool." And then everybody's talking about it, even though it's supposed to be secret, right? Fred and George are part of the team already. So they already know what's possibly going on. That makes sense. If you're the captain of a team, you don't just be like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm gonna hire somebody new,
Wait.
put someone on the team.
I'm sorry. Who's the captain of the team? Okay, sorry. I thought you said Fred and George. I'm like, wait, what?
No, I was saying Fred and George are on the team.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would know almost immediately.
Right. Okay. That makes
Because Oliver's probably like, maybe they had practice or something, but like
spaced out for a
Oliver's probably
second.
like,
So I got you.
yeah.
Okay.
Oliver's probably like, oh yeah, let me tell the rest of my teammates, yes, I'm the captain, but like, I want my team to be comfortable with who I deem to pick.
Right.
Because you could pick the best friggin' player in the world,
Right.
but if he doesn't work well as a team,
Yeah, and I
your
think
team's screwed.
right, and I get what you're saying. I think the reason that specifically happened that way is because they needed a seeker, or they couldn't even play. So it's like we'll literally
So
take
maybe-
anybody,
yeah.
but nobody wanted to do it for whatever the reason is.
Well,
So-
probably because like,
But I agree with you. Like we should probably hold a conference, and they do. In a few later books, they like try out, and then they talk amongst the team and pick. So
Right,
it was
yeah.
just that one instance. It's also kind of like McGonagall.
well,
like,
that might have
saying,
happened
"Look,
behind the scenes.
right, it might have, but it's also McGonagall saying, "Look, this guy's great. He's a seeker. I'm head of the Gryffindor department. You're taking him, or
Right.
he gets expelled, or he gets in trouble. So you're taking him."
Yeah,
So
like I've seen his skill; it's impressive.
yeah, McGonagall wants to win, probably almost as bad as Oliver would.
Probably more so because
Yeah, so and I don't think the team really cares that much who the seeker is. I mean, I think they're just like whatever, as long as
I mean, if
Oliver's
I
happy.
heard that, like, oh hey, you're getting
Right.
like the boy who lived is
Right.
you know.
Like I would trust Oliver Wood because we know how how insane he is about Quidditch. It's like whatever, if you're happy with them, whatever, as long as we get to beat some people with
Right,
bludgers.
yeah. Right, yeah. And then, like you said, they after everything's said and done, they're talking in the Great Hall, and they're not supposed to know, but everybody basically knows what's going on. And Draco comes over, and he's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I'm gonna challenge you to a wizard's duel." And of course, Harry has literally no idea what's going on. Ron, being Ron, is like, "Oh, yeah. You know what? I accept that challenge.
Right.
I'll be his second." Of course, as the first time I read that through, I'm like, "What? Second?" I was as confused as Harry. And of course, you get to explain, "Oh, yeah, I stand in your place if should something happen." Oh, yeah, great.
If you die.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, cool. We're like 11 years old. If you die,
but he probably doesn't know any fatal spells. Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I feel like any spell is fatal if you don't know how to control the magic. Like, you might accidentally put too much into a spell.
I mean, yeah, anything can become fatal.
I mean,
Wingardium Leviosa, if you let go at too long of a height, you could drop somebody.
I mean, think about it this way. Stupefy, the stunning spell.
Oh, yeah.
We get to see just how insane, like, three people.
Yeah, that's three powerful wizards, too, though.
Right. They're taking a spell that, like,
it's 2 oars and the oars Umbridge, bro. So, yeah.
Right. Strike her dead in her heart.
Yeah.
Almost kill this woman. Almost kill McGonagall.
That's, yeah.
With 3 stunning spells that seem to be, like, your basic run-of-the-mill. So, like, if somebody isn't careful, it seems, or they put a lot of power into it.
Right.
Has the potential, any spell has the potential to...
Right.
To screw you up.
But anyway, I mean, I'm not, I mean, they know, though, he doesn't know Stupefy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they don't. I don't think they know.
But I do agree that, like, I mean, Harry should get a say if he's going to be dueling somebody. But they're 11-year-olds.
He doesn't really get a chance.
They're 11-year-olds, so it was bound to be that nothing happened anyway. I mean, what is Harry, like Harry said, what is he going to do? He doesn't know spells. He's going to stand there and...
Yeah, it's going to turn into a fist fight.
Yeah, basically.
So now they're, it's later in the night. Ron and Harry, they're like, yeah, we're going to leave. We're going to go get there. It's about 11:30 at night.
Yeah,
super
way
late.
past hours.
Of course, lo and behold, who's down there in the common room waiting for him? Hermione. She tells him off. She's like, hey, yeah, you're not going to be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. This is a dumb idea. If you get caught, you get expelled, yada, yada. She's playing devil's advocate. And rightfully so. Because, like, Harry, should you really be ready? You just barely didn't get expelled for the stunt you pulled earlier. And you really want to pull this stunt where if you get caught, you have to deal with Filch, who's, I'm pretty sure, not as forgiving as McGonagall.
Right. No, he
Filch
wants to hang
hates
by
the
their
students.
thumbs.
So.
He wants to hang them by their thumbs.
Yeah, so I'm not...
But he also has no authority at all. He just can only bring them to the authority figure.
Yeah, but he can...
I mean, everyone's scared of Filch, but, like, dude, he's one Stupefy away from Croaking anyway. So...
That's so bogus.
It's true, man.
Probably true, but, like, that's so bogus.
He's just so scared of this, man. He literally can't do anything to you.
Maybe his cat can.
Maybe she can scratch you.
So of course, they're leaving the room. They're like, yeah, whatever, Hermione. Well, Hermione's following them, constantly badgering them. They go out of come out of the portrait, right? Well, okay, now we can't get back in because the fat lady's not there. And of course, again, who do they meet? The one guy who couldn't get in the first place.
Yeah. I think you step on him too.
Yeah, like he can't even get in.
Yeah, he doesn't remember the password. And why would they not? Oh, because the fat lady's gone. She's gone. So he can't even get in because she's gone. So even if they tell him the password.
Well, yeah, and as
group and for safety in numbers too. So like,
right, and as
I'm gonna go with you guys.
So Neville is obviously the same as Hermione. Like, oh, you shouldn't do this. But I don't really want to stay here.
Yeah, right.
And I actually noticed. I think this was like a typo on page 155.
Well, of your version. You have like a
right version. Of my version.
I have that version over there, not even open yet.
Yeah. It's going to be worth like a crap ton of money later.
Maybe.
But so Harry says, Harry couldn't believe anyone could be so interfering. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was supposed to be
Infuriating.
Infuriating.
Interfering. Okay, well, Trevor doesn't know the English language.
Yeah, I don't know the English language. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, so.
Alright, so moving on. Alright. They're obviously hey, so you want to join us? Let's just keep going, because you're going to follow us anyway, because you don't want to stay here by yourself. Hermione wants to keep badgering us.
Right, and her and Ron are bickering. He's like, whatever, let's just go.
Signs of first true love.
Right, first argument of the relationship. Or wait, is it?
That's one of their bigger
before or
arguments.
after Halloween? I can't remember.
This is before Halloween.
Okay, yeah.
So
it's before
Halloween.
It's Leviosa, not
Dear
Leviosa.
God.
She's a menace, honestly. It's no wonder she hasn't got any friends.
Right, yeah, no.
Love that. So I think I quote that at least once a week.
And I'm pretty sure this aggravated that situation. Because
Yeah.
Ron was just so tired of hearing, oh, yeah, goody two shoes. So, they get there into the room. Well, when they get in the room, they just keep having the worst luck. They run into another person. Not person. They end up running into Peeves. They beg, they plead. They're like, dude, no, please. Please don't tell anybody we're here. Right? Because obviously Malfoy set this up. He's not there. They're about to get caught. Peeves is like,
Right.
students in the hallway.
Yeah. Peeves is a jerk.
Giving away their position. Who's on his tail? Filch. Filch literally just.
Well, yeah, because all he does.
Speeding his way, talking to Miss Norris, trying to catch him. Of course, they're like, yeah, we're not going to stay here and get caught. So they run away, and as they're running away, they hear Peeves talking to Filch, and Filch is like, where are the students? And
Right.
Peeves being Peeves, he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you away, but I'm also not really going to give him hints as to where you are. He's a honestly, I feel like if I was at Hogwarts, he would probably be the most frustrating person.
Well, yeah, he is to everybody.
Because he's not going to help me.
That's what she was in the movies.
But he's not going to help somebody else get me.
Yep, that's what she was in the movies.
Oh, yeah, that would have
Feels
been...
bad, man.
Would have been
Maybe
great.
when they make that Harry Potter TV series, he'll be in it.
Making a Harry Potter TV?
It's in the talks.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, because Warner Brothers is coming out with a new streaming service,
Hmm.
and like, what better show to have on there?
Addition to our news.
Yeah, in addition to the news, another update. What better show to have on there than Harry Potter TV show, because they have the rights to Harry Potter, nobody else does.
Not wrong.
So I think I've heard last I heard they've been trying to get J.K. Rowling to be part of it. They don't need her to do it, but they would be obviously better with her.
Well, yeah.
So that'd be sick, guys. Look out for that. That'd be so sick.
Yeah. Would do...
We do like daily episodes. No, we're not really, but we would just do. We would have to finish the books first, and then we would just do weekly, or every weekly episode would be about the new episode.
Which would be amazing.
Amazing.
Just saying.
Yes.
Just saying would be amazing.
Oh my god. Anyways.
So, of course, Pete, is like being obstinate, and Filch is getting angry, but the kids are still they're afraid for their lives. This is the first time they've had to deal with Filch running after them.
Right.
Not going to be the last, but
Right.
this is the first time. So they're running, they're running.
They run straight into
The Charms corridor. Just so happens that the corridor that they're in is the forbidden one.
Yep. Yeah, sir,
And what does Hermione do, right? Because they come up onto a locked door. She's like, oh, yeah, magic.
Right.
Magic a door that's locked.
Yeah, it's locked for a reason,
Why?
Hermione. I mean, I get her mindset because all the classrooms are probably locked, but like...
Like you, of
Like,
all
I
the...
shouldn't- yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is actually the classroom. I think it just says it's a door.
No, but I'm saying, like, they think they're entering just like an abandoned classroom or something, and it would be locked because they lock classrooms.
Well, I think it's into the hallway, actually. Like a door to the hallway.
No, it's like in the corridor. It mentions it's in the corridor, at the end of the corridor. They enter a corridor and they run down. And
Right, like it's leading to another corridor after the fact. Or, maybe it is.
They think they think it's a classroom or something. I don't remember exactly, but they obviously don't think they're gonna find what they find.
Yeah. And honestly, if I found what they found, I'd be a little bit scared.
Yes.
you know, I imagine it's like those cartoons where you see like people, they get into a dark room and you see their eyes, you know, one set of eyes, two set of eyes, 3, 4 sets of eyes.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh,
Well, I
what's
think
this?
it's-
And they
yeah.
feel the breath and,
Right.
what?
I mean, I think it's lighted in there because they see Fluffy, but I get what you're saying, yeah.
Right, like
Like
you're
it's
just not
creepy.
expecting, and then,
You're not
oh,
expecting to see 3 heads on a dog.
right, like if you're
A
like in the
giant
camp.
dog.
Yeah.
Giant dog is scary enough. It had 2 heads to it, and it's basically, it's a thing of nightmares.
Yeah, terrifying.
Did you know? Well, sorry, go ahead. We'll do it at the end.
Right, and at first all they see is that this is a dog, and they get scared, right? Of course. You see a big, giant dog randomly in a, you know, possibly a classroom. First instinct, run away. Run away. But when they get back, Hermione points out, hey, you notice it was guarding something. And everybody's like, what? She's like, yeah, there was a trap door.
Yep.
And they're like, oh.
Guarding something. How could it be guard? Why would it be guarding something?
You know, so they're all like, what?
Of quoting the movies,
okay,
guys,
okay.
sorry.
I think they got it. If you've seen the movies, I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
love
sure
it.
you
I
guys
love
got
quoting the
that.
movies. But yeah, so she's standing on a trap door.
And then Harry is like,
the dog standing on a trap door.
right, and Harry's like putting 2 and 2 together, which is impressive. Man, not saying he's not smart, but like how quickly he puts 2 and 2 together is impressive. He thinks to himself, oh, 3-headed dog guarding something. Oh, the thing that Hagrid had that he picked up, that little grubby package, is that what's being guarded?
Right.
Like for him to put it, not saying it's a bad thing, but like I was just, it surprised me how quickly he puts, you know, like yeah, Hagrid's there and he picked up a package. We're like, why is your first inkling to go straight to, oh yeah, it's that package he had.
Right.
What?
Which again, for the first book, I'm not mad at this fact. I'm not bitter about it, but it just shows just the change in, you know, like age of the books, like the age group of the books. Because by the seventh book, he has no clues to anything, and he has to struggle to figure it out. In this book, he just is able to put boom, boom together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has the answers lying in front of him, and he puts them together instantly. But like in the 7th book, all the answers are lying in front of him. It takes him almost half a book to figure it out.
I think that's maybe partially because, like, as a kid, like he's still in wonder about this world.
Yeah,
so he's more thinking like out of the box. Whereas like after
I think
6 years, he's so used to it. Let me know if we're talking.
But I know. I mean, no, it's okay. I'm just thinking. Personally, I think being a kid would make this harder on you. It would hinder your ability to put 2 and 2 together. But I mean, it's just like I said. It's because it's it's fine. I'm not trying to pick on the books. I'm just saying the fact that it's a this is a child book. It's like a children's book for younger kids, whatever. So they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna put that's the thing is they don't care in this book. They don't care about having you figure the clues out. They're gonna have the main character figure them out. By the 7th book, they're giving you the things and they're kind of challenging you to figure it out.
Those are
before
more
the main
difficult
character
things
does.
to have to. Those answers are right in front of you,
right?
But they might be guarded,
right? Definitely, but
you know what it is.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it just shows like the gap in age from book 1 to book 7.
Yeah,
book 7
that
is way
6
more
years
complicated.
really does make a difference.
And it's really interesting, you know what I mean? And I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I think the way that it's set up from book 1 to 7 is great. I'm not picking on book 1. I'm just saying it just shows you how like it goes from a book centered around like children audience and kid audience, to like an adult novel.
Right, darker,
more complicated,
themes.
more thought. Like trying to explain a Horcrux to me when I picked up the first Harry Potter book, I would be like, "What in the?"
Yeah.
But like nowadays, like I mean, there's still some things that are complicated. But like that's the thing. I still don't even fully understand it, and I understand more than I would as a child. But yeah, I'm not picking on it. We can move on. I'm just pointing that.
I just wanted to point out one more thing. We actually got a little bit of foreshadowing to this.
What do you mean?
That Harry would come up with this. Because Hagrid mentions when they're picking up said package, they're like, 2 safest places in the world. Gringotts and Hogwarts. So maybe that's partially how Harry put it together. He's like, oh, right. Hagrid mentioned like this would be a place to safeguard.
Right. Yeah. Personally, I just don't think there's enough. Like, I don't remember when I was younger if I got it, but I just don't think there's enough there. Because it's also like weeks or months in between. Yeah. You know? Or I think weeks in between. Maybe like 2 months. But I just don't think there's enough there for him to like just instantly get it. Obviously, it's to save some time because why? Again, they're not trying to challenge the reader to figure it out. They're trying to give the reader the information at this point.
Right, because this is like the introductory book.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm really not trying to pick it apart or pick on it. I'm just saying it's interesting to see the difference, how it changes direction.
Yeah. You said you wanted to bring something up?
I actually we'll go ahead and finish the summary, and I have
that's basically the summary.
Okay, there's 2 things that kind of towards the end here I want to bring up. Just 2 thoughts. We'll go through them real quick. The first one is the question I have every time I read this chapter or see this in the movie is why. So we know I know from reading and doing research in Harry Potter, there are spells and there are certain locking mechanisms that cannot be like opened with spells, like Alohomora or anything. You have to there are very specific ways to open them. So why would, knowing you have students roaming around the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th years that learn Alohomora, not just Hermione being super smart, why would you not put a more secure locking mechanism on the door?
Question: are you talking about things that we learn about the Horcruxes, where like there has to be a sacrifice to open the said door? No. Like you have to do blood doors?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because
I can understand why they don't do that.
No. But I'm saying we know they've talked about other ways, like certain locks. I'm drawing a blank right now, but there are locks that Alohomora won't open. It wouldn't lock it. It wouldn't unlock it.
Well, later in the book they encounter the keys that they have to
Yeah, exactly. The Alohomora doesn't work, and then you have to get the right key. Exactly, perfect. Why they do it later in the trapdoor? Why not do it there, where children can be exposed to the dog that easily? Because, for example, the exact reason, yes, they were breaking rules, but the exact reason we just saw, they obviously didn't even realize they were in that corridor, and they tried to get in there. Like, yes, they should be doing that in the first place, but you have Fred and George at your school, who will, like, their life goal is to figure out go where they're not supposed to be. So why would you not put a more secure lock? Which also makes me wonder, why did Fred and George never go there? Or did they? And just never talked about it.
Maybe.
But yeah, why not use a more secure locking mechanism? That's weird. You know, in a school full of students. But this kind of goes hand in hand with my other point here. It's okay. You put the cheap lock on it, whatever you want to call it. Why not put Fluffy down the trapdoor for more effectiveness? Okay? Now, I mean, you can argue whatever you want. Maybe he wouldn't fit. There are ways to get him. Believe me. I know there are ways they could get Fluffy down there. They could probably shrink him or something. I'm sure.
Well,
but my point is, A, it's safer for the students. And B, somebody goes down that trap door into Fluffy, they're stuck. They can't just turn around and run away. They're stuck down there. So they're either going to die or they're going to know how to tame Fluffy, which is what you want. You don't want people going in there that don't have a business going in there.
No, I get where you're coming from, but I think, and we kind of get to see part of that in here, is they want him up top. So the first thing you see is a dog.
Right. Yes.
Like, you're not expecting to see that. You're like, oh, this is an easy lock. Holy crap.
I know. I get that. I really do. But again, I'm just thinking outside the box here. A couple things that come to mind. One, if somebody's going out of their way, if a student's going out of their way and you put a rug over the trapdoor, they're going to see an empty classroom. They're going to be like, whatever. Or you put like something to turn to, we know there are ways to like conceal doorways and stuff. So put a concealment charm on it or whatever. So people can't see the trapdoor. Only people that know it's there know it's there. Well, so Fred and George open the door and they see nothing in the room. They leave. Now, with that aside, anyone that is trying to get in, you don't want them. Anyone that's not a student that knows is trying to get the Sorcerer's Stone for bad ill ill intentions. You don't care if they die. You don't want them to get. That's the thing, is they're getting the stone probably for Voldemort. So you want them to suffer. You want them to like be out of the picture. That's the whole point of putting Fluffy there in the first place. So what better way than to have him? Okay, fine. You get through the trapdoor, but now you're stuck down here with a giant dog. Now what? You dunce, you know.
Well, they do explain it later in the book that like they wanted a little something from each.
Right. Well, that's fine.
Each teacher. I think the reason they did the way they did is that like even if you had to learn how to, like you said, tame Fluffy.
But
right?
yeah,
then you get down, then you have another challenge. I
know, but anyone that knows that Fluffy's there will know how to tame him. You know what I mean? They will already know how to do it.
Right, and it seems like we need to put a spoiler in here eventually.
I'm gonna add it to the beginning.
About Snape saying that like he knew of a couple challenges that were there, but not all of them. So I think this was like Dumbledore's way of saying like one person knew everything except for him. So the only way you were gonna get there is by having to go through each challenge. And like some of those challenges you can only do like once, maybe twice. You screw up on it, you're screwed.
Right. My point is, I know, I'm just picking at it. A, for safety from the children, again.
Yeah.
B, also, like I said, if you're going to, like, enter the maze, if you will, the puzzle of getting the Sorcerer's Stone, like, make them enter the trapdoor, now they're locked in. They're stuck there. I mean, obviously there's ways to get out, but if you jump into a dog, you're probably going to have to face that dog and tame it before you can get out. As opposed to turning around and running out the door.
But then you also run into, like, friendly fire. Now, if you have to jump down, if the dog's right there, dog's instinct is anybody that comes in eats right away.
Right, but if you know what I'm saying, if you know it's there, you can open the trap door, play the spell on the harmonica, maybe have the harmonica right below. I'm just saying, there are ways to do it. My point is, look at Quirrell. Because he had time to practice taming Fluffy, because he could run in, try it out, if it doesn't work, turn around and run out the door, he's able to eventually tame Fluffy and get through. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tiger told him how, but he had time to practice it. If you go down that trapdoor, you best know what you're doing or you're stuck there. I'm just saying, it's fine, it worked out, they saved Sorcerer's Stone. I'm just saying, I feel like there are better ways that they could have done this, being great wizards the way they are, and they chose, like, the two most... they had at least two options to make it more safe for the children and more effective, and they didn't go either. So... yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, also, did you know that Fluffy actually comes from a three-headed mythical dog named Cerberus?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who guards the underworld, yeah.
Yeah. He guards the underworld and he guards the trapdoor, if you will. Yeah, he guards the under passage.
Yeah, for Hades, it's
Hades? Yeah.
Greek mythology.
Right, yeah. I just thought that was interesting. I mean, I knew that, but I relearned it. I knew that before, but I was reintroduced to that idea recently. So I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Before you even get to the river Styx and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, that's the chapter. It's chapter 9. That is the, whatever, what is it? The duel?
The Midnight Duel.
Midnight Duel. I kept thinking the Dueling Club. Like, nope, that's book 2. The Midnight Duel. And that's Malfoy being a tattletale.
Yes, conniving little munch.
Yeah. There you go. And then we learned about Fluffy and all that good jazz.
Sorry. Next week we are going to be going over chapter 10, Halloween.
Yes, we are.
That is going to be a very interesting chapter, so stay tuned.
Yes.
For next week, because it's going to be a ride.
Right. Now, before we wrap things up here, I'm going to do something a little different that we have not done thus far. I'm going to put a question of the week out that you guys can answer if you would like. And then we're going to plug, we'll be plugging some social medias and stuff at the end. So if you want to get a hold of us, you can find us on any of those that we'll be listing. Or if you want to answer the question of the week, you can do it on either as well. So the question I have is, we're going to go back all the way back to the Remember All here. It's kind of a two-way question. You can answer both, or you can answer one or the other. It's, what do you think that Neville forgot that made them Remember All light up? Or what important situation was there for in your life where you forgot something that you wish you had a Remember All to remind you? So it's kind of a two-parter. I mean, you can either answer one or the other. You can answer both. Whatever you guys want. Just make sure to plug that, or make sure to wait. Wow. Make sure to send those to our plugs we're going to be listing here shortly. Other than that, I think that's all we have. We got anything to add to it? Keep an eye out for those Harry Potter games and all the Harry Potter news and things like that we mentioned throughout the episode. So yeah, that's all we got for this week. So until we see you guys next time, mischief managed. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to help out the podcast, please head over to iTunes and leave a rating and review. Also, please subscribe to the Hedwig's Army YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at Hedwigs_Army. If you would like to contact us, you can email us at hedwigsarmypodcast@yahoo.com or visit www.hedwigsarmy.com and head over to the contact tab. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Hedwig's Army.
Every great wizard in history has started out as nothing more than what we are now, students. If they can do it, why not us?